Everyone. Welcome to my economics class, part 1 of macroeconomics, chapter number 1. And today we will be discussing on types of goods. Okay, now let's see what are the types of goods. Now, goods produced in economy are broadly classified in two ways. Number one, final goods and intermediate goods. And number two, we have consumer goods and capital goods. Now let's see what is intermediate and final goods. Intermediate goods. Intermediate. What does it mean? It means things in between two things or in between any two processes, right? Okay, now there are main two criteria of intermediate good. Number one, making. If a good is purchased by a firm for making a final good, for making a final goods, then it is intermediate goods. Number two, selling. If a good is purchased by one firm from the another for selling or reselling to earn profit, then such goods are known as intermediate goods. Example like car, cabin showroom, scooter cabin showroom, book cabin shop are for selling purposes, right? Therefore, these are your intermediate goods. Wood used for making furniture, polyethylene terephthalate used for making plastic chairs, right? These goods are used for making a final goods like plastic chair or furnitures. Therefore, such goods are also your intermediate goods. So, intermediate goods can be defined as a good purchased by a firm for making a final goods or for selling to earn profit, or intermediate goods are those goods which have yet not crossed the boundary line of production and are not ready for use by their final users. Okay, so such goods are your intermediate goods. Now let us see what is final goods. Final goods are those goods which have crossed the boundary line of production and are for ready to use for or by their final users. Okay, so final goods are those goods which have crossed the boundary line of production and are ready to use by their final users. Now let's look at this example once again. Car. If a car is purchased by a consumer for his personal use, if a scooter is purchased by a consumer for his personal use, if a book is purchased by a student to prepare for his example, then such goods are your final goods because car, book, scooter are now in the hand of their final user, right? And these goods are ready to be used by the final users. And goods like furniture, plastic chair are also your final goods because these are now ready to be used by their final users. Got it? I hope you're clear about it. Now remember, final goods, the value of final goods are estimated or are included in the estimation of national income. Okay, and we are not going to include the value of intermediate goods. Only the value of final goods are to be included in the estimation of national income. And here are your definition of intermediate goods and final goods. Now, there are some goods which are partially final and intermediate goods. For example, like salt. Salt can be an either intermediate or final goods. Let's see if a salt is used by a maker in making bread. Now here, salt is used in making a final goods, that is bread, right? In such cases, salt is your intermediate goods. But if this salt is consumed directly at household level, If this soul is consumed directly at this household level, then it becomes a final goods. So some it depends on the product is used. Okay, if it is used for further production, then it is intermediate good. But if it is consumed directly, then it is final goods. Okay, I hope you're clear about these two. Now let's move on to next types of goods: consumer goods and capital goods. Consumer goods, consumer goods, the word itself suggests consumer, right? So it comes from consumers. Okay, so consumer goods are those goods which satisfy humans wants directly. For example, like clothes, car, TV, scooter, chocolate, milk. These goods satisfy humans wants directly, right? So such good or these goods are known as your consumer goods. And there are three types of consumer goods: durable, semi durable, non durable. Now let's see what is durable good. Durable goods are those goods which can be used for a long period of time. For example, like 10 years or more than that. For example, like car, scooters, right, refrigerator, etc. Number two, semi durable. These are those goods which can be used for at least 1 year or slightly more than that. For example, like cars, sorry, for example, like clothes, plates, etc. Number three, non durable. These are goods which are consumed at one go, like chocolate, milk, biscuit. Okay, so these are consumed at one go. So these are non-durable consumer goods, and it's all about consumer good. Now let's come to capital goods. There are three criteria of capital goods. Number one, use for production. A good is used for producing a final good. Okay, good must be used for producing a final goods. Number two, durable goods. It must be able to use for a long period of time and must be able to use repeatedly. Okay, but remember, not all goods which are used for producing a final good are your capital goods. Not all goods which are used for producing a final goods are your capital goods, because to be a capital good it must have this character. Okay, it must be a durable goods which must be able to use for a long period of time and must be able to use repeatedly. Okay, so therefore it is said that all project goods are not capital goods. Okay, all capital goods are not capital goods. Let me use a very simple example: wood, which is used in making furniture. Now, wood is used in making furniture. That means what? Wood is used for producing a final goods. It's a producer goods, but it is not a capital goods because it cannot be used continuously, right? It cannot be used repeatedly. It is a single use producer goods, and therefore wood is not a capital goods. But goods like plant and machineries, these are your capital goods because it can be used for a long period of time and it can be used repeatedly and also used in the further production, right? Also used to produce a final goods, right? So plant and machinery is your capital goods. Now I have used an example of plant and machinery, right? Machinery, but all machines are not capital goods. Remember again this: all machines are not capital goods. It depends on how your machine is used or are used. Okay, now let's say in a simple example, if this sewing machine is used by this tailor in his tailoring shop to produce clothes to earn profit, then it's your capital good. But if the same machine is used at the household level for the household purposes and not for earning profit, then it is your consumer goods and not your capital goods. Okay, remember, if a machine is used to earn profit, then it is capital goods. If a machine is not used to earn profit, then it is not a capital goods. Hope you're clear about this. Now let's move on to the third criteria of capital good: high value. Okay, high value. Capital goods must be an expensive one. Okay, it must be an expensive one. It must possess high value. Example like nuts, right? We have nuts, screw, nails. These are also used for further production and can be used for a long period of time. But they are not expensive. They are a cheap one. So these goods are not your capital goods. Okay. So remember, to be a capital good, it must be used for production, it must be a durable goods, and it must possess high value. All right. An example are plant and machineries. Okay. Here's a question. You can answer this in the comment section. If you have any doubt and any queries, you can post your question in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.